We are live. All right. Welcome to a.
Just gotta start over, man. Haven't done it in a while.
I forgot how to do the intro. We're back for another episode of the iFilmmaker podcast. The first one in like 2.5 weeks. My name's Ariel Martinez. Mr. Cervatelli back with us, our loyal friend here. Dude,
Man.
did you have that beard when you left?
No, I don't think I did.
I saw your recent episode, your recent episode on the Jersey Filmmaker YouTube channel, and I was like, where did that beard come from? I don't remember that beard.
That's how long we haven't talked for, man. Or haven't done an episode for, at least so you don't get to see me, you know?
It's so funny. For those of you, so before we started this episode, we're trying to set everything up, and it took us like 15 minutes because we literally forgot how everything went. We had such a good flow of setting up the audition, opening up YouTube, everything, and we just forgot everything.
Literally, man. I was like, wait, how do I do this? I had to relearn it.
Oh my gosh. So this is episode number 91. And man, it's so funny because after doing it for so frequently, for as long as we've been doing this, it's like a whole new thing once again. And we've only stopped for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's been I mean, I can't wait to talk about it. We haven't.
I know.
So for everyone, I mean, we keep in touch, obviously. For anyone who doesn't know, but I still don't know everything that's gone on with you. We haven't even had time to catch up in that sense. So I know you've been to Colombia. That's about all I know. And then I do know your camera broke. I saw that on your Instagram. My God. You texted me.
We got so much to catch up on. Yeah. The good news is, I mean, we're back. We're back on the podcast, and for everyone that's joining us, thank you guys for coming. And for those of you that are listening to this, we are back. It was kind of like we had no idea how to prepare for these trips, really. I had 2 trips. I think you had 2 or 3 trips as well yourself. Just getting busy and all that. And I mean, I gotta say, it's been great. I had a great time in Colombia. I had a great time in Texas. And I'm sure, as from what I saw on your social media posts, you did too. Yeah. And we're gonna talk about that now. So anyways, let's go ahead and start with the iFilmmaker YouTube channel just passed 2,000 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. Sweet. For those of you listening to this on iTunes or on Google Play or SoundCloud or any other platform, we encourage you to go over to the iFilmmaker YouTube channel. Go ahead and get subscribed, because that's the only place where you can actually watch us live while we do our episodes, and actually subscribe. And actually interact with us on the chat, which I just realized I forgot to open here. So go ahead and subscribe over there, and you can chat with us live while we do these episodes.
Just be prepared to sometimes start chatting with us at midnight, because that's what it is right now.
Yeah, right now it's actually midnight. You're right. It's midnight, and we still have some live viewers watching us live, so that's pretty cool. We have some loyal fans. That's awesome. While you're at it, go ahead and go over to the Jersey Filmmaker YouTube channel and subscribe there. There's some pretty cool content. Now, it's so funny because you posted a recent episode, why you don't have 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And you posted a section of that on social media. And you know what's funny? I personally think that is a valid question. I think that your content is good enough to have that many subscribers. So let's talk about that.
I appreciate that, first of all, man.
Let's talk a little bit. I don't want to give any spoilers for those of you. Go check out that episode. I haven't seen it myself, the whole thing. But what is in general? What is it about?
It's a little bit of a tease. It's just I actually get a lot of comments like that, which is really nice and flattering and inspiring, and it keeps me motivated. people ask me why I don't have more followers. You know, keep working hard. You'll get to this many followers, 500,000, a million. They mention that, and it's really cool. So I thought it'd be a fun title because I thought it would get people interested. But what it really is, and if you look underneath it on the YouTube channel, it says, why don't I have 1 million subscribers? And it says Q&A day. So I've started now like answering questions that I get online. Instead of just answering in the comments and responding to people directly, I want to bring forward the questions that I want to talk about so that everyone can hear about them. So you don't have to read every comment to get to some of the questions that I might like to answer. So I just answer a bunch of questions, and some of the questions are, why don't you have 1 million subscribers? So I play, poke fun at that a little bit.
That's good.
But yeah, it was a fun episode.
You'll get there for sure. I think honestly your content is good enough. You certainly spend a lot of time on it.
That's for sure.
So for sure your time is going to pay off
one day.
So let's talk about our trips. I'll go ahead and get started with Colombia. I was there for 10 days. I was in Bogota, and I gotta say, it really was. I was surprised at how and this is my ignorance. Excuse my ignorance. Any Colombians listening, excuse my ignorance. I really thought that I was gonna I really thought that I was gonna go to Colombia and it's gonna have like a third world country, very kind of poorish feel to it. But I was really surprised. I got there and I'm like, wow, this place is not at all what I thought. I thought it was gonna be like Nicaragua. And it's funny because I'm half Nicaraguan. And I'm half Nicaraguan. I'm Nicaraguan from my mom's side. And when I told her that, she got offended. I was like, look, I told the truth. So I thought it was going to be like Nicaragua, where, it's unfortunate. But when you go to Nicaragua, it's like you look around, it's like, man, what's going on here? It's a very impoverished country. And I thought I was going to expect that in Colombia, but it's not the case at all. I mean, there are some sections, just like anywhere else, you'll find that, there's a lot of poverty there. But in Colombia, it's actually very, it's very civilized. Is my thing frozen again?
I think it is, man. I don't want to interrupt you, but I think you are frozen.
Yeah, it's frozen. Look at that.
Switch it out. Sorry, guys, for those who can't see, Ariel's camera seems to.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. All right.
Well, I'll continue on if you want to work on that real quick.
Well, no, it's all right. I'm just gonna switch it off right here. Okay. Anyways, so that was very surprising. And so after that, I went to the we saw the, we went to look around, and man, just like I told you, it was like it's very, very well civilized. Surprisingly civilized. And so, and when I say that, I mean there is, and I knew that there was a democracy there. It's not a dictatorship. But it was really nice, really nice. Everybody there is so nice. Yeah. And even before going there, I had a lot of friends and family, a lot of friends and family telling me, be very careful there. Crime is very high there. And I was like, man, I was very skeptical about my gear and everything that I had to have with me. And then
I lived there. I've told you that before, right? For 3 months. Or I guess lived there, played ball there.
I never knew that.
No, yeah, I played there for 3 months in 2007. So I had the same kind of scariness, like tentativeness going in. Like I was like, man, is this going to be dangerous?
Yeah.
And I had no problem, and I stayed in a small town.
Yeah.
I got to the bigger towns, Cartagena and Barranquilla and Medellin, and they were all beautiful. But I stayed in a smaller town, and I mean, it's not as highly civilized as here, but it was. Everything was operational, and there were stores, and there were police stations, and it was all legit. I had a great time there. I didn't personally experience anything bad or scary, and man, I can't imagine they'll run around 10 days shooting at that. This was during my baseball life, so that was a different time.
Also note that I was not holding a small camera. I had a full-size rig with me everywhere I went, with even using the Easy Rig, which I will get to in a second. And I gotta say, so the first location I went to, we showed up, we started shooting. Very first location, very first day of shooting was the first and only altercation I had with a local. and it was a pretty bizarre one because we're at this bridge, a very antique bridge. It's not a bridge that you drive over. It's a bridge that you walk over, but it looks really nice. So that's why they had decided to shoot there. And I had convinced the director to allow me to bring. I was able to bring an assistant, a production assistant, with me. Really, it was really my first AC. And my buddy Adrian, he's a big guy as well. We're about the same height. He's much bigger than me. And you know, that's another reason I wanted him to be there, just to have, because it was going to be 3 girls and just me. I needed another male presence there for security purposes as well. Kind of like a deterrent or so. And so he's with me. I'm on camera on sticks. He's next to me. And then our subject is all like about, you know, 25, 30 feet away in front of the camera. And then our 2 producers are off to the side, sitting on the bridge. 2 female producers. They're off to the side, sitting on a bridge. And then these 2 guys are walking up behind me, not toward me, but like just toward our general direction. And we thought nothing of it. There were people walking around the whole time. But as they get about 10 feet from us, one of the guys goes and puts on a ski mask, like full on.
Jeez.
Now, I'm not paying attention to this. I'm looking at the camera. He's behind me, walking up toward us. And as soon as he did that, the 2 girls that were sitting on the bridge off to the side, they grab all their things quickly and come running toward us, toward me and my friend Adrian. And the guy just goes berserk and he goes crazy, just cussing them out, talking about the girls. And he just goes nuts. And essentially he was talking about how, you know, why are you guys acting like we're going to steal something from you? We're just a couple of poor guys here. You rich people always act this way and this and that. And he gets up on my face and I'm like, what's about to happen here?
This is all in Spanish, I'm assuming.
All in Spanish. And I'm like, what's about to happen here? I have no idea. But I just stayed quiet. I'm just letting the guy vent, and he just kept walking. He gets like real close, like uncomfortably close to me. And so he just kept walking after. He didn't do anything. He was just upset, I guess. But why would you put on a ski mask? First of all, it's not even hot.
You mean it wasn't cold?
It was. That's what I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't cold. There's no reason for that. And well, I mean, how would you react if a guy's walking up to you and just puts on a ski mask?
Yeah, he probably does it all the time. And
man,
the same reaction.
Probably, I can't imagine.
Well, if that's the worst that happened, man,
that is the worst. And they just walked away. And that was it. The rest of it was great. We were just moving around a lot. I had my rig. I'll talk about it on our next episode about exactly the tech that I was using and stuff. But
yeah,
later on, a couple days later, I think the biggest highlight of the whole trip was the Monserrate, which is a big mountain there. Have you heard of it?
No.
So it's a huge mountain. Basically, when you get to the top, you're at 10,341 feet above sea level, which is insane. First of all, let me also mention, as soon as I landed in Colombia, I'm walking down a long hallway in the terminal toward customs, and I'm running out of breath. Like I'm breathing hard the entire time. And then that's when I found out how high the altitude was in Colombia. Like the general altitude is already 8,000 something. And I'm like, my goodness, I'm already running out of breath. The air is really thin up there.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting. And I just found myself normally I have to focus on my breathing. It took a couple days to get used to that. But anyways, as you know, it was like 4 or 5 days later into the trip, we go to Monserrate. We're able to climb that mountain. That was actually part of the show that we're shooting. And it was awesome. I did not take my easy rig or the big rig there. We're actually shooting that on 2 Sony A6300 and the other one was A6500. And it actually came out pretty nice. But that took us 3.5 hours to climb. That whole thing. It was quite a day, and I'm there like wearing jeans and a button down. But it made for some amazing drone footage. Nice. The drone footage was surreal. But yeah, it was a lot of running and gunning and shooting, and man, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
It's awesome.
The food was great.
Can you talk about what you were shooting at all?
Yeah. So we're shooting a travel fitness show. Sorry, I should have started with this. So we're shooting a travel show. So I've done some videos with Lauren Sesselman. Lauren Sesselman is a fitness, I guess, coach or fitness expert that she does a lot of kind of P90X / insanity type videos. And they've gotten very popular. And for some reason or another, they're very popular in Colombia. So that's why they decided that would be the first day of shooting. The first location of shooting. So we're shooting a pilot for this show. And the pilot is basically, we're in Colombia. We're going to explore the fitness, the health and fitness culture in Colombia. And so we're exploring different restaurants, different gyms, different mountains like that one. Where basically, if you want to travel, you could visit all these locations and you can, try out the way they do fitness in Colombia. We went to a spinning class. We went to a CrossFit class. We went to we climbed that mountain. We went to some different restaurants where our host got to cook with the chefs, some Colombian food and all that. So it was very interesting stuff.
I saw. Was there one you were like in a spa under, like buried in a mountain or something?
Oh, yes, I totally saw that post. I totally forgot about that. That was like, I think that was day one. That's probably why I forgot, because it was day one. That was so cool. We went down a mountain, We went underground where there's this whole little like, I guess, little city going on inside of these. They're called salt mines, right? And the walls are actually made of salt. Like everything is just salt, and you can literally lick it, and you'll taste the salt. And in there, once we explored that, we went to a spa that's actually located inside. There's a lot of different within those caves. They have a bunch of merchandise that you can buy and all that stuff. It's so cool. And we visited a spa where you can go and get, you can relax. It's really, really cool. The point of that one was actually to explore the salt and all that, but we ended up visiting a spa. Our host was able to get the spa treatment there, how she was able to relax and get her muscles relaxed and everything. And it was very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
You didn't get a spa treatment?
I did not. I only got to shoot a spa treatment, which sucked. I was getting relaxed just shooting it, but the footage actually came out quite nice. So it was such interesting stuff. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very, very cool stuff. But yeah, hopefully, so the point of this pilot is so that it's a big project that we're putting together with the help of some investors, and hopefully the hope is that we're able to, I guess, sell it, and whatever network picks it up will go ahead and fund the rest of the series.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully, and I think we're already talking about shooting another one, but the next one would be in England. And we all agreed that would be a really cool place to go shoot something like that. So that was the whole premise, the whole thing of the trip. So it was kind of a go big or go home type of deal. We did everything, and I think I got like 3 to 4 terabytes of footage.
Wow.
So that's a lot between my FS5, the 2 A63 and A6500s, GoPro, drone footage, all that stuff. Oh, they climbed a mountain. They went rock climbing as well, so that's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
And yeah,
that's fun project to be involved with. If that takes off, that'd be
we also visited a military base.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool, and that's where the tragic accident happened, where I broke my FS5.
Oh man,
sucked so much.
Are we gonna get into that, or
so I mean, it's not crazy amount to get into, but essentially what happened was that, so my FS5 on the top handle, you're able to attach like kind of like a cheese plate kind of deal. And it's on that cheese plate that I attach my Titan arm, which is the articulating arm that holds on to my monitor. And on that is, I have my monitor, my the Shogun Inferno, the Atomos Shogun Inferno attached.
You are using the tangerine one?
Yes, the bright tangerine Titan arm. It's so good. That thing is amazing. It's incredible how strong that thing is.
It should be for that price, right?
I know, it was like $250 or something. So basically, so I'm moving around in sticks. So I have my entire rig on, and now I'm using VLock, so the rig is extremely heavy. Now I'm using my entire rig, the monitors attached. And so what happened was I had it on the tripod, everything's locked in, everything's good. I had to move, so I pick it up, I close the legs, and I put it on my shoulder. Now I'm not tilting it too much, I'm just holding it up right here. And I'm walking through this obstacle course, and there's this little kind of like it's funny because it's like a little bank that you could just throw water in, and it looks like it's like a whole, it's not a river thing, but it's like a 2 or 3 foot gap here that just goes along the entire course. And it's filled in with concrete, so it's whatever. And so you could easily just walk over it. It's just one step over. And it's inside, it's about a 2 to 3 foot drop, which is not bad. But the thing is, I went to step over it with my right leg. I misjudged the placement of my right leg, and my foot went right through my knee hit the edge of it, which hurt like crazy. But anyways, essentially I went down, my camera and my tripod and everything went down with me, and that thing just slammed the floor really hard. It was on grass, but what happened was that the monitor on top, the weight of it kind of made that cheese plate kind of bend all the way, and it just snapped off the big plastic piece that the whole thing was being attached to.
Right.
And the whole chunk of the body came off, and that's essentially it.
Just gaffed it up and it held up, huh?
Yeah, so all I did was I covered that gap with gaff, and I mean, it worked perfectly. That was only our second day. That was on our second day of the trip. So it worked perfectly.
And in to get fixed, how's that go?
I don't know, man. So I looked into that, and it cost $150 just to look at the camera. So I have to send it in. It's gonna cost $150 for them to just look at it. I don't know how much they're gonna quote me, and all this time I'm not gonna have the camera.
Right.
So I didn't even know if I want to fix it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just kind of torn between that. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it to send it, or I'm not sure, man. It's right now, honestly, because it's working, it's not really a priority. I was able to figure out a different way to attach my monitor already, and it's I mean, it is what it is. Right now it's not a priority. There's no urgency, so I'm okay right now. So that's where I'm at. I just don't think, I wouldn't mind if the store was in Miami, but the fact that I have to ship it to them for them to just see it, and then they can tell me if they can fix it or not, and then they're going to tell me the price. All this time I don't have the camera. That's the biggest thing for me. I don't have the camera. So
and they don't do a loaner or anything.
I think they have this feature where I can become some sort of member. I can become a member, and they'll send me a replacement camera while they're fixing my new one. I don't know. I have to look more into that. It's just, again, it hasn't been at the forefront of what I've needed to do. I'll definitely look into that a little more soon. I just got back from the trip on Sunday, like 2 days ago.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, Saturday, 2 days ago. So yeah, I just haven't had time. I've been catching up on sleep and all that. So
nice.
Yeah, man. So that was pretty much, that was the worst part of the trip, but everything else was just amazing. The food was great. The people were nice. And honestly, I honestly felt comfortable walking around the streets with my rig because everyone was just so nice. And I don't know if it helped with my size and my buddy Adrian's size, and you know, as a deterrent, but everyone was pretty cool. So very interesting stuff over there. Did you know that I think they told me that there's a law there that so because their traffic is so bad that you could drive your car on the streets only every other day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, depending on your license plate, if it ends in an odd number, for example, you can only drive Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
Wow.
And then if it ends in an even number, is the other days. That's so crazy.
That is crazy.
Because of the traffic. Even with that, so the person that was driving me, they would tell us, look at all the license plates. They're all end in odd numbers. I'm like, wow. That's interesting. And that applies to even more motorcycles. So a lot of people either have two cars or I don't know what they do. That's interesting stuff.
Hopefully they don't get two odd number license plates.
No, obvious. The point of the two cars is to have two different license plates. All right, man. So tell me about your trip.
Oh, which one?
I want to hear the rodeo one. That one looked really cool.
Rodeo is cool. Rodeo was very cool. I did an episode on that actually. So when you get to catch up, check that out.
Yeah,
that'll really show you. So that's over on YouTube. But it was awesome, man. It's the second year I've done it now. So I do the athlete features. So I go there like 5-6 days early and I shoot these little 30-second to 60-second vignettes that feature the athlete that's about to perform. So if there's a bull rider that's about to ride the bull, there's this little bit on them that they show before they go. We did this year, I think we ended up doing 5 or 6. 5 or 6 total. Last year, I think we did 8. So last year was a little more intense. So it was nice to be laid back a little bit this year. I finished up everything. We got there on Tuesday. I finished up at noon on Sunday. And the pregame started at 1. So I was actually done before the broadcast even started this year. Last year, I think I edited up to like 6:15 or so. And the last thing that I did that they were airing live was at 7. So I finished only 45 minutes before it aired.
Wow.
So this year I was done with everything before the broadcast even started, but which was fun because I got to go watch the event and hang out in the truck. And I found out that they were going to, for 2 of the features, they were going to simulcast them on the big screen in Cowboy Stadium, which was really cool to see. My stuff, my work went up on a screen that's 180 feet by 75 feet or whatever size that is. That
stadium looks amazing.
It is amazing, man. And it was cool to see my work projected on something that large. So that was a nice accomplishment, and I knew it was going to happen. So I went out there and watched it and recorded myself watching it, of course.
That's awesome
for the channel. But
your over the shoulder shot.
Yeah, exactly. So it was cool. It was fun. It's fun, but it's a lot of work. It's nonstop because as soon as you get there, you're driving one place, you're shooting with that athlete, you're driving to another place, you're unloading the footage, you're shooting with that athlete, you're editing, you get up, you're shooting, you're editing in between another. It's like that for 6 days. Like I couldn't do much else at all. So,
did you have someone with you to help or no?
Yeah, I have a producer as well. So I'll shoot. He'll do a lot of the rough cuts as well to try to get the story in. Gotcha. I mean, I know they're only 30 to 60 seconds, but sometimes these interviews go on for like 10 minutes and you got to pull 30 seconds out of it. So he knows the sport better than I do. So he's better at forming the stories, and then I kind of do the technical touch-ups and make it look good and all that.
Now, what camera were you shooting that with?
I was shooting on the FS7 and A7S2.
I see.
The FS7, I mean, same thing as the FS5, just like having the internal XLRs, like just for quick turnaround. I would love to shoot those on the red, but it's just not easy to turn that around like as quick as we have to,
Yeah.
So that's quick turnaround stuff. The coolest part about that, this is the only thing I do that when I'm done on Sunday and I come home, I'm done. There's no more work to be done for that job.
Yeah.
I don't do that very often. I don't go and shoot and hand over footage very often. I don't go.
Those are awesome. You should try that.
I should try that more. It's not very often. I usually take on projects as a quote unquote company, and I end up producing from start to finish. So
yeah,
that's a nice perk of that job. It's a lot of work during that 6-day time frame, but once it's done, and you get paid. So that's nice.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. I like jobs that you just shoot. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of those lately. Just get hired real quick. I don't talk about them much, but because it's just not that interesting. Yeah. But it's really just go set up an interview, shoot. Sometimes they want a little bit of B-roll after. Sometimes they don't. Just shoot the interview and hand over the footage. Yeah, and that is it.
Too often. That's nice.
Those are nice.
Do that too often. Yeah.
So yeah, those are. That sounds awesome, man. So you got to see a rodeo. I've never seen a rodeo before.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I had seen one prior to last year, but I didn't know what was going on. Last year, I actually got to learn a lot about the event. This event has all 7, I guess, with bull riding, has all 7 events that they do, because this is like the biggest one of the year. It's like the Super Bowl of rodeos. It's a $2 million purse overall, and any one cowboy can win up to like $1.1 million in one day.
What's the name of that one?
It's called The American.
So I've seen a docuseries on this. It's called Fearless on Netflix. Really great cinematography on that bad boy. Have you seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
Check that out, man. What really had me coming back to see it was the shots were so just damn gorgeous. Nice. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, this looks great. And it's all about that. Rodeos, all these cowboys. I think it's more on these Brazilian.
Well, the bull riders are like more than 50% Brazilian now.
Right. So that's what it talked about. It actually all these the main people that they were following were these Brazilian bull riders that have really just taken over the sport.
They really are, yeah.
They're like, man, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But man, those shots are amazing. I highly recommend it. Go check that out. It's called Fearless, nice. And it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original docuseries. So all right. Well, what about the following trip?
So that was one. I think I came home for a couple days, and then I went out to Philly for the weekend to work with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions. So I was with them for 3 days.
Not too exciting.
Yeah. So if anyone's football fans, I got to work with Carson Wentz again. This is the second time I got to work with Wentz, which is really cool. Jay Ajayi, Nelson Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey.
We gave you Jay Ajayi, so you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, I shouldn't. Hopefully, they're not listening to this, but I'm a Giants fan, so that was a little rough for me. But I'm a sports fan, so and I like being around the athletes. So. But no, it was a lot of them. There's probably like 15 of them or so that I got to work with. The only part that was a bummer was you were probably gone, so the weather was really bad up here, and we got hit pretty hard for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh man!
Actually, on and off it came, but we had like a 1 to 2 day span where it was really bad, and flights and all kinds of stuff were getting canceled. And you'll hear I got even more stories about this once my stories here continue.
Yeah,
I got there. I drove down to Philly, and I got there just before this storm started. So anyway, Nick Foles was supposed to be flying in, Super Bowl MVP, right? Guy took over for Wentz when he got hurt and ends up winning.
Yeah,
would have been cool to work with him, but he was supposed to come out. His flight got canceled. So they tried to get him a private jet out. They got that. When he got to the airport again, Philadelphia airport closed. So now they couldn't even take off because he couldn't get in. And the closest airport that was open was Pittsburgh. And they weren't about to drive him across the state because he had to be back like the next day. So he ended up not coming. So I missed out on that, which is a bummer.
You're talking about Nick Foles, right? The one that took over.
Yes, exactly.
Man, I like that guy, man. That guy and that guy's testimony, his story is pretty amazing.
Yeah. He's gonna get paid now too. So
man. Yeah, I mean, he was about I don't know if he was already thinking about retirement or he was at least talking about it for sure.
Yeah. And he seems to always be on the back burner, but obviously he's good enough. I mean,
how he came through at the end.
But yeah, no, it was awesome.
How he came through at the end. That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
So yeah, I was there for 3 days, and then the very next day I flew out to Telluride, Colorado. And I don't know if you got to see my story. Did you get to see my story?
No, I didn't. Did you save it in the highlights?
I do have it saved. I actually might put it in. I did some shooting out there for ICANN, where they gave me a couple pieces of gear, so I did some stuff out there, and I think I might put it in one of those episodes because it was like a 3-minute story, and I don't do this very often where I just get on there and talk. But I was stuck in the airport. My flight out of Newark got delayed an hour. I landed the very minute that my next flight was taking off, which was delayed 5 minutes. So I thought maybe they were holding the plane. So I'm trying to run through Denver Airport, and if you've ever been there, it's just like a straight shot all the way down. And I had my bag full, like my my Ravens in there. I got like all kinds of batteries, gear. I'm trying to run. I'm pulling my other bag. I had to give up after like one set of gates, and I got on one of those carts. Got there, my flight had taken off.
Damn.
The next flight was in 3 hours, which was delayed 2.5 hours. So 5.5 hours, which eventually got canceled. So I ended up staying in Denver. So it was just a mess trying to get there. And then I ended up having to come home early for some family things. So I was only there 2.5 days. I was supposed to be there Sunday to Sunday, but I pushed it back to shoot with the Eagles. I pushed it back a day, got delayed, got canceled, had to come home early. 2.5 days total. So,
damn.
But I can one up you though on the mountain. Since we might have been on the mountain at the same time, I got to eat we go there every year for my family ski trip, and it's awesome. We have a nice house out there, and I get to go on the same mountain pretty much. But there's a restaurant called Alpino Vino at the very top, and it's over 12,000 feet. It's the highest restaurant in America, I believe, in America.
Yeah.
At least America. I don't know if maybe the world. I got to look back at my picture.
How'd you get up there?
You take the lifts up and ski down. Man.
Heck no. Why don't you climb up there? Then you can talk to me.
No.
Climb up the damn mountain and then come talk to me.
No. I get up there and like takes like a half hour.
I definitely took a lift down the mountain. You could certainly take a lift up the mountain like a lot of tourists do, but obviously the climb of the mountain was part of the show.
Yeah.
But damn, that took forever.
No thanks. No. I'd rather just take that lift up and ski right on.
And if you guys, I actually documented that whole thing. It's so funny because we were told that the mountain is only a 45-minute climb.
Oh.
And I never put that on my story. So at the beginning of the climb, on my text, you'll see 40. Here comes a 45-minute climb. Dummy me, like I'm thinking it's only gonna take 45 minutes to climb this thing. But that's 45 minutes. The person that told us this is, first of all, it's our guide. She is extremely fit. And that's
not
45
carrying a camera.
Not carrying a camera, but that's 45 minutes running. So she runs that thing in 45 minutes. And so that's why, it took us 3.5 hours to get up there, because not only are we walking, but we're stopping to shoot all the time as well. So it took us quite a while. Two of the producers of the show actually took the lift up, and they were waiting for us that whole time upstairs. They were saying they got so bored. But anyways,
I had finished that up. I got home a little bit early, and I was home for I think a day and a half, and then my sister had a baby, so I'm an uncle again, number 3 for me.
Uncle Ant.
That's right.
Do the other ones call you Uncle Ant or Uncle Anthony?
They're all still young. I just get uncle so far. My niece calls me uncle. Yeah. She made it into my last episode as well. So
I saw that you posted it on social media, right?
Yeah, she's cutie, man.
That was a cute one.
So that happened. Then the very next day, I had to go to Vegas for a shoot for Fanatics, who I work with pretty consistently.
Yeah,
and that was cool. We did. I'm trying to see if I can talk about it actually now that we did some stuff for some of their new apparel, and nice. And worked with another athlete that surprised some people. So I could put it that way.
I'm sure it'll be out soon.
Yeah, so that'll be out soon. That was cool. But that was I was there a day and a half. So I got in like Wednesday afternoon. We went and set up for the shoot. We went, then We went to Top Golf to have a production meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
to have dinner.
Production.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Where business. That's where business gets done, apparently.
On the golf course, you know it. We went, had some dinner, had a drink, and we talked about our schedule for the next day. So it was a production meeting, right?
All right.
So then we get up.
I'm sure you were able to expense that as well.
Oh yeah, of course. So I got up early, shot, and then got back on the plane, took the red eye home, and then into an edit session for the film that I'm still working on too. So yeah, man, it's been this is why we haven't had an episode. You know, we've been all over the place, and it's just been nonstop. So
living the dream, though, right?
This is it, man. This is what we do it for, you know.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I'm very excited that we're back, though. I got to tell you, and I got to be honest, I don't like being away for too long. This 10-day trip had the longest before this was 5 days that I've been away.
Ever? Oh, wow.
I think maybe 7, but I don't think that was for business though.
Right.
So even 5 days for me was like, all right, I'm ready to go home, you know. 10 days I started, and I started feeling a little like, man, I miss my bed right now. And it's not that I miss home so much, really. It's more of it's my bed, you know. It's like staying in a hotel for that long. Even though the hotel was great and everything, I miss my home, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, something about being in my own house, you know, and using my own bathroom.
Yeah. I was just calculating. I think I've only been home 5 days in the last 4 weeks, like to sleep in my bed. Just all over, dude.
But you know what? I mean, I think because I came home one night and then I had to leave to Texas, which was not a business trip. It was just actually more of a retreat with my church. Mm-hmm. I was out there for a few days. Just even sleeping in my own bed for at least one day and then leaving out again
refreshes you.
It was actually refreshing, you know. I could do that. That's okay. But yeah, I don't. I'm not very fond of it. Obviously, I'll do it. It's work, you know. I'm never gonna complain. But I just rather not. Hey, so real quick, we are recording this it is now 12:45 in the morning. And I just got the email for that deal zone. And in case anyone's interested, if you guys hear this on time, ICANN has their 7-inch DH7. Is that the one that we use, the hybrid? No, right?
No, we use the S7H, I think it is.
Got it.
It's something with an S.
So this is a 7-inch HDMI monitor with a 4K signal support. It's at $269.
So speaking of ICANN, I'll make a little announcement right now.
Talk to me.
I am
first of all
and presenting. Go.
First of all, before that announcement, we're going to NAB.
We are going to NAB.
Come on now.
I was gonna lead right into that. And, we are.
I was supposed to come after.
Okay. Well, this will come after then. We are going to NAB. We will both be there. So if
we're
anyone
both going to be at NAB.
Yes, we will, and that's going to be an awesome time, man. I'm excited to go. This will be my 3rd time going, but this will be my 1st time going and being able to hang out and do things with somebody I want to be there with and like learn things with and go talk to people with. I'm talking about you, and actually,
come on now, stop! I'm blushing.
I actually have another buddy I just found out is going to be there as well, so it'd be cool to see him. But I've only gone by myself and just literally gone to listen to people talk and learn some things and go just see all the gear. But this year, now that I'm more into the production world, being that this is my 3rd full year full time, starting to meet people and collaborate. Now that I have myself on YouTube and have myself out there, it's going to be a lot more fun for me for sure.
Definitely. What days? Yeah, man, I'm super stoked for it. So I'm going to be out there Monday 9th, the 9th to the 12th.
I'm going to be there. I think I get there Saturday night. So I'll be 7th to 12th, but like late Saturday. I'm not even going to count that. So I'll be there Sunday through Thursday. I leave the 12th as well.
Got it. Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Never been to NAB before or any kind of expo.
You're going to be You are going to be blown away, dude.
You're
not going to know what to do with yourself.
It's
overwhelming. There's so much stuff.
I'm hoping that that's the case. I figured, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to enjoy this in just 2 days, you know?
Yeah.
I definitely want to see everything. I'm so excited for all the announcements. But before we get to that, tell me about your announcement.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad you'll be there Monday, because I'm actually going to be speaking 3 days for ICANN. I'm doing a presentation on some of the gear that we used on the Zion shoot. And they've also sent me some other stuff throughout, I don't know, the last 5 or 6 months. Some of the stuff I took to Telluride to shoot with. So just a bunch of pieces of gear that I've gotten to use that they have and that I've experienced. And that's literally what I'm speaking on, is just my experience using it. So
very cool.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 to 3:30 is the I would say penciled in, not locked in yet, but yeah, I'll be speaking 3 different days. So if you're only there one of them, if anyone's listening, you have 3 chances to catch that. So come on over. I'll be there. I'm sure Ariel will be there at least one of those times, and we'll
I'll be there all those times.
Yeah,
what booth is ICANN?
I will pull that up while you speak about something else.
Yeah, we'll have all this information, guys, over at iFilmmaker podcast website. You could find it all there. We'll be keeping you guys up to date, showing some cool BTS. You can follow us on social media for sure. You know we're going to be all over the stories on social media and our regular feed. Mine would be at arielmartinez.tv. Mr. Cervitelli is going to be at Jersey Filmmaker. You can follow us on social media, and we're going to be definitely keeping everyone up to date there. It's going to be a really, really awesome time.
So they are booth C, so Central Hall C10919. So they're big numbers, but the best part is that in the email that they sent me to like prep us for all this, for anyone that's speaking for them, it says they'll be located at C10919 in Central Hall. We are located very near the Sony booth. And I know that you're looking forward to.
Oh, all right.
Here's your
segue. Let's kill 2 birds with one stone. One of the biggest things that I'm waiting for, and this is no surprise. I truly believe, and I'm not the only one, there's a lot of filmmakers that are expecting this. I truly believe that Sony will be announcing their new A7S Mark III, right? I fully expect that. I'm so excited for that so much. I've had that money already still put away just for that pre-order. Hopefully, again, I am hoping that they can really compete with the GH5, because on several occasions, I've had the GH5 in my shopping cart, ready to purchase. I'm not even kidding. Like, so many times I was wishing on this Colombia trip that I had the GH5. I mean, at least because I had to shoot with my A6300, which is such a great camera. Don't get me wrong, but there was just a lot of things that were lacking, in terms of features and flexibility. So I'm so excited. I hope that that's the case. I will really be bummed out if it's not. And if it's not, I will be getting the GH5. I'm not even kidding. So the GH5S, let me clarify.
Yep.
Man. So I'm so excited. I really hope that Sony comes through. And
I'm going to say this to the fans out there, because I think we should do this.
Yeah.
We should go live on Instagram or something during whatever they're announcing, and I'm bringing a bottle of champagne, and if it's an A7S3, we're popping that thing right there.
Let's do it. Let's get the party popping. Oh my God, I will be very excited, because man, I still can't believe they took this long. We'll see, man.
Yeah, we will see.
We'll see. I mean, it is Vegas.
They're not going to let it go without something.
There's no way. There's no way.
So
I think that they could have announced. I think they've had it. Oh. They've had the A7S3 for a while. They chose to announce the A7 Mark III beforehand, which was supposed to be after, but I think that they were saving it for NAB. So, hey, Fingers crossed.
It can happen.
It can happen. I truly believe in it. I'm praying for that. Because man, and I'm hoping we get that 10-bit internal. Come on, guys.
I'd be all over it too.
Come on now. Come on. What's not to love about that?
Yep.
I think this was a good episode.
Yeah, man. It's a good
we're at 50 minutes. It's a really good catch up. We still have several things to discuss, and we're gonna continue to unwrap our trip in episodes to come. We have a lot of things coming, including the cameras, more specifically the cameras in Adamas and Shogun and all the specs that I did on this trip. How I handled my audio, which was a nightmare, I gotta say.
Yeah, that's right.
My audio issue was disgusting, and I could not be more disappointed. But we'll talk about that in a future episode, very, very soon. And we're just more exciting stuff, things that we can expect from NAB, more rumors that are coming out. We will be discussing that in the episodes to come. Now, because we're getting so busy, we just got back from trips, and I'm sure you got a lot to edit. I have a lot to edit. We will be keeping episodes to once a week. I think for now, you and I spoke about that. It's going to be the most responsible thing to do right now because, man, the workflow is really starting to stack up, but we do not want to lose contact with you guys. We definitely want to continue these episodes because there are a lot of fun. We love talking about it. We love catching up. We could talk about filmmaking and all this stuff for days. But we definitely have to be responsible, and we have to make sure that we're fulfilling our part of each project, our part of the bargain. So we're going to be posting once a week. I think Tuesdays is a good day, but we'll obviously it's going to be word of mouth, really. But for those of you, just a reminder, for those of you that are not subscribed, go ahead and go over to iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, subscribe, leave us a review on iTunes. We definitely appreciate that. I know a lot of you guys have been doing that. We thank you guys for doing that. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, that's the only place that you can catch us live. On YouTube, get those notifications when we go live. Make sure that they're turned on, and you can be a part of the conversation. Steer the conversation in a different direction. Ask your questions. We'll be able to answer them. Hopefully, if not, we'll give you our best opinion for each situation. And also go check out Jersey Filmmaker's YouTube channel. He's posting a lot of stuff. The million subscriber channel. That's coming, man.
Yep,
for sure. So I think that's a good episode.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Cervatelli, thanks for joining us. Thanks to everyone that joined us live on this episode. And we will catch you on the next episode of the iFilmmaker podcast. Later.